My name is Spandita Malik. I am a visual artist. I work in photography, in social practice. I've been working a lot with women recently in India. I had grown up and I was trying to be a photographer and learn how to be a photographer. When I grew up in India as a woman, I didn't particularly feel very powerful. I didn't feel like I had control of any situation as a kid or as a young woman. But with the camera, it gives me this illusion of power in my country where I control and start to build a narrative. I was researching rape culture in India during my grad school. I had gotten really into researching statistics and data and all the numbers that I could analyze to understand what rape culture in India really meant. One of my professors told me that I should probably go back to India and start talking to people instead of being in the studio surrounded by numbers. I went back to India and I started working with non-for-profit organizations that support abuse survivors, especially women. They are also teaching all of these women how to embroider, how to sew, anything that could give them some financial freedom from their abusers. I started photographing these women in their rooms, in their houses, for women who weren't allowed to come to the center. Because a lot of these women are confined to their rooms, there's so much personality to these rooms. Everyone's decorated and put different kinds of things, very particular to how they like it. So having them inside their rooms and photograph it, I think it's always really interesting. Portraits are something that I really like taking because of the people that I get to interact with and the stories that I get to hear that embed into whatever photograph I take. I can capture this essence of them that maybe hasn't happened in a photograph before for a particular person. The history of embroidery in India, it goes back to the Mughal era. A lot of artisans were commissioned all over the country by different kings and queens to create wonderful garments and everyday objects. Embroidery sort of became a part of adorning and making things more beautiful. I asked them if they would be okay with embroidering their own portrait, and in that way we could sort of start sharing the power in building that narrative. When I started photographing the women, I was never treated like an outsider. There was this level of trust. I think over the years that they've been working with me, they have become very comfortable with the medium. Now the ideas in the way that they build a narrative has also become much more detailed. It is different and it's also completely their agency as to what they want to make. While I have this power to create this work, I am able to share that with them. I'm able to create a space where we can build a language together. The language of resistance in a way. I am a storyteller more than an artist. When I ask these women to share these stories with me, they share everything about their lives, and at some point I think that I just become a vessel of these stories that I need to pass on, and that's the responsibility. Stories define us as humans, and it's the only thing that we know for sure has been passed on for generations.